It is time now for us to answer your questions on the Delhi University admission process. As you know, the admission process for Delhi University is currently underway. The first cut-off list admissions have in fact concluded, and the second cut-off list is expected to be released on the 9th of October. Delhi University is conducting admissions to nearly 70,000 seats for this academic year. The university says that it will release 5 cut-off lists and there will be 3 special cut-off lists, but all of this of course is subject to availability of seats. Now, the first cut-off list, as we all know, there were 8 top colleges of Delhi University that have demanded 100% cut-off for 10 courses. Now, with this 10% cut-off and the admission process being shifted completely online due to the COVID-19 pandemic, there are many questions, dilemmas and doubts that students have. So call us on that number flashing on your screen, 083-77088377, and we have 2 experts to answer all your questions. Professor Pramila Kumar, Principal of Gargi College, Delhi University, and Dr. Chandrachud Singh, Associate Professor of Political Science, Hindu College, Delhi University, with us. Thank you very much for sparing your time and being with us on NDTV. Professor Kumar, if I may take the liberty to ask you the first question. The admission process this year has been shifted completely online. We've also once again seen sky-high cutoffs, with the cutoffs reaching 100%. What are some of the challenges that students are facing and how are you addressing them?
I think these online admissions, this is the second year we are having online admissions. Last year we had some teething problems, but this year I think it is very, very smooth. And it is very, very beneficial for the students, because at the comfort of their home they are able to do all the processes and we are able to handle all their queries. So we are experienced, they are also experienced. The online portal made by our computer center of Delhi University is very, very student friendly and it is very effective. So I don't think students are finding any problem. And I never got any query from them or any complaint regarding this online admission.
All
the
right.
process is very smooth and very, very student friendly.
All right. I'm going to come, back to you to sort of ask you about the, the kind of cutoffs that one is seeing and whether the admission process, therefore, is skewed to favor certain state boards versus CBSE, because that's a big question that a lot of students actually have. But let me first also get in Dr. Singh into the conversation. Dr. Singh, you're an Associate Professor of Political Science at Hindu College. The cutoff for political science is 100%. I'm a political science student myself. I wouldn't have even been eligible to apply, I think, in the 5th cutoff list with the 90% marks. What explains this 100% cutoff for an arts course like political science?
Okay, so thank you. It's good to know that you are a student of political science. And as you know, even I wouldn't have made it to Delhi University if you were to go and look to the cutoff or look to the marks that I had. But having said that, please understand that the supply side, the supply side has remained the same. What it was in my time, what it was in your time, and what it is in the current time. Right. Of course, there has been some expansion of seats after the OBC reservation, but the supply side the demand side has been going up and up and up. And Delhi University being a prestigious university, we have applicants from all over the country. And being a central university, we cannot simply discriminate between the boards. Now, if the boards start giving that 100%, and this year at least there are 1,000 people from Kerala board, as I know, who have more than 100%. Now, in the absence of any alternative mechanism to judge the competence of the prospective students, you tell us what else can be done. I mean, I'm not saying that this 100% cutoff is a saner thing to do. I would never believe in that. I don't believe in that. But then in the absence of any alternative, robust, rational mechanism, mind you, I'm saying that robust and rational mechanism. I'm not one who favors in terms of an entrance test, because entrance test has its own flip side. But see, this is something which happens everywhere. If you look to the UK, in 2012-13, they faced a similar problem when they had this international baccalaureate board and the A levels as they have. And what did they do? The universities were asked to design algorithms keeping in mind merit, equity, and diversity. And all these universities could do that, and they don't have any complaints to make. So what my simple suggestion is, as far as we are concerned in the colleges do not have any role to play in terms of having any freedom, barring the minority colleges, which do have some freedom. But other than that, we are simple, straight-jacketed into the kind of things that we are supposed to do. So therefore, and this is not happening for the first time, this has been happening over a period of time. And I think the Delhi University Admission Summit System, or the committee, or the people who are responsible for framing rules, they should have looked into experiences, and they should have stood firm, projecting the autonomy of the university.
So you're saying there is a disproportionate amount of students from the Kerala board who've got admission this time into, say, a political science course at Hindu, because there are more students there who've secured this 100 percentile mark as opposed to even CBSE students.
See, that's a simple mathematics. We have 20 general seats in political science department, right? And I tell you, on the very first day after the cutoff was released, we had 170 applicants having 100%. Now, what we have done is we've got 50 admissions on the general seat, and around 75 from the OBC, 4 from the SC, and 4 from the EWS, who also have 100%. So now they would be counted as general students for the purpose of admissions, and overall then we'll have to go on and get the mandatory reserve seats as well. So which means humongously we go up to 170. And I mind you, tomorrow the NIRF would come to us and say, well, your student ratio, your student teacher ratio is so skewed, so you go down the ranking. So it's such a system.
Right. So there are, I think, many systemic issues here that really need to be addressed. And like you said, the admission process this year has been skewed, and that also raises several questions on whether we need to have a more uniform marking scheme across state boards and central boards, going forward. We have our first caller, Mayank, dialing in. Mayank, go ahead.
नमस्कार मैम।
नमस्कार
मैम, मैं सीबीएसई बोर्ड का छात्र हूं और मैं बिहार के समस्तीपुर का रहने वाला हूं। मेरा मैम 97.25% अंक प्राप्त किया हूं मैं सीबीएसई बोर्ड में, लेकिन फिर भी दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी के टॉप 10 कॉलेज में से किसी भी कॉलेज में एडमिशन नहीं हुआ, जबकि मैं रिजर्व कैटेगरी से आता हूं, ओबीसी से हूं। तो कभी कभी ऐसा लगता है कि दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी किसी बेवफा या बिगड़ैल महबूब की तरह है, जिसके लिए चांद तारे भी तोड़ लाओ फिर भी खुश नहीं होता। अब कितना नंबर चाहिए दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी?
Mayank, I think
go ahead, Professor Kumar. I mean, I think that's a sentiment that a lot of students actually have, about the admission process this year. What would you like to say to them?
मयंक, पहले तो मैं आपको मुबारकबाद देना चाहती हूँ 97.5% लाने पे, और ये कम नंबर नहीं है, और आपको अपना मन छोटा नहीं करना चाहिए। आपको दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी के किसी बहुत अच्छे कॉलेज में एडमिशन मिलेगा। अब टॉप 10 में आप क्या गिनते हैं वो तो आपको देखना है, लेकिन बहुत अच्छे कॉलेज में आपका नंबर आएगा। आपको सेकंड या थर्ड लिस्ट तक वेट करनी पड़ेगी, और मुझे लगता है अगली लिस्ट में आपका नंबर जरूर आ जाएगा। आप कौन सा कोर्स करना चाहते हैं और कौन सा कॉलेज चाहते हैं, ये आप थोड़ा सा बताएंगे तो शायद हम आपको और अच्छे से बता पाएंगे।
जी, ऑल्सो प्रोफेसर कुमार, इफ यू कैन हाईलाइट हियर, एंड ये सवाल जो आपने पूछा है मयंक, ये बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स का सवाल है कि इफ यू डोंट गेट इनटू द फर्स्ट लिस्ट, you are going to be waiting for a subsequent second and third cutoff list. How does the online admission process work, in that case? Because we know that you can only apply for one college and one course at a time now.
Now, when we declare the second cutoff list, all the students, they have to see very carefully in which college they fit in, which cutoff list they fit in. And when they are finding that, when they are calculating their percentage, they have to be careful, follow the SOPs given in the university guidelines and the college guidelines. Wherever there is a deduction, they should do that deduction. Wherever there is an addition, they should do that addition. And if there is any problem, there is a help desk in each college.
Okay.
They can contact the mentors and they can calculate their percentage and then apply accordingly. So there is no scope that they won't get the admission.
Okay.
If they have calculated correctly.
And if you have any difficulty in calculation, then like Professor Kumar is saying that there are help desks across all colleges as well. So perhaps you can call on those help desks and
Right.
revisit your calculation. Is there anything else, Dr. Chandrachud Singh, that you'd like to add?
Rishika, what I would simply add, and now there's no point because today is the last day of paying the fee for the first cutoff.
Yes.
But I would always advise all students to, get into to their course in any of the colleges they are getting in. It cannot be that at 97.5, being an OBC candidate, he is not getting anywhere. It's a bit difficult one to take.
Okay.
But yes, what would happen is, particularly in the campus and the supposedly, perceptively good colleges, this is not my word, this is his word. The problem is that because the OBCs have got into the generals, the OBC cutoff
Yes.
has been taken as a general cutoff.
Yes.
My hunch is that the cutoff for the OBCs and the other reserved categories will go down eventually.
Okay. In
Because we are
subsequent lists. Right.
Yes.
Right.
So I don't think there's anything
मयंक,
lost there.
आपको जैसे दोनों प्रोफेसर्स ने समझाया, आपको लिस्ट देखनी पड़ेगी बहुत ध्यान से. सब्सिक्वेंट जो लिस्ट आएंगी उसमें कट ऑफ्स गिरेंगे. 97.5% इज no less marks by any stretch of imagination. Karan Kumar, a parent, is dialing in from Gurgaon. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I'm Karan from Gurgaon.
Please ask your question.
Yeah, thank you. See, I have a couple of questions. One is that I see that Delhi University, as a premier institution of India, is not doing enough promotions. In order to encourage the students to apply to different colleges, because everyone has heard only about the few colleges in Delhi University. मैंने कहीं नहीं देखा कि कोई, let's say, Ramlal Anand या ARSD या मोतीलाल नेहरू या for an example, for that matter, बड़े colleges जो हैं वो अपने आप को inspire, मतलब encourage करते हैं या students को encourage करते हैं उनके campuses में.
What's your question, sir?
The point is that now अब स्टेट बोर्ड की बात करें आप, स्टेट बोर्ड से जो केरला स्टेट बोर्ड से उन्होंने सारी सीट्स ऑक्यूपाई कर ली हैं फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स for the courses in Hindu, Hansraj,
Right.
or Ramjas. My son has scored 98.4 and I don't know whether he'll get an admission into a top-end college. And I have a fear that if I get him admitted to let's say, an average college of Delhi University, will he be doing justice towards his academic career in Delhi University? So that is my question. So the Delhi University as a premium institution should induce confidence in the students that, okay, even if you're not getting an admission to college, at least you are not left behind. That is number one. And secondly, I want to get a clarification from both the professors and the principal that can a student transfer within the Delhi University from one college to the second college?
That's an important point. Yes, that's an important point. You may seek admission.
If my son gets an admission into, let's say, Ramlal College, I'm just taking an example, or ARSD. Now, if he maintains a good GPA in the first year, like the foreign universities, US universities,
can there be a transfer?
All right. There has to be a transfer policy.
Professor Kumar, do you want to take that on?
Yeah, there is a migration policy where I think he's talking about the migration in the second year and the third year.
Yes.
So there is a migration policy, but the chances are not very encouraging in that, because if suppose I want to migrate from Ramlal Anand to SRCC, then there are two conditions. The Ramlal Anand college should be able to relieve that, should agree to relieve the person, and there should be a seat available in the Shri Ram College of Commerce. The availability of seat is more crucial. If the seats are available in that college, then the application received, again they will be ranked in the order of merit.
Right.
And if you are in merit, you can get migration.
Okay.
But during the process, during the admission process, if you are admitted in college A, and in the subsequent list, suppose your percentage fall in the cutoff list of some other college which you think is better, then you can shift. There is no problem.
Okay.
Without any problem, you can shift to the other college.
Okay. Okay. Very interesting. Dr. Singh, you want to add something?
Yeah, I mean, as far as this first point is concerned, we are constituent colleges of the University of Delhi, and we have a code of conduct. So naturally, we cannot keep ourselves promoting much the way the other private universities and the others do. But remember, during the admissions, and at least days before the admissions, the press does inform the people generally. in terms of the profiles of the colleges.
Yes.
And all sorts of activities take place in all sorts of colleges, and I think they do reach out to the people.
Okay.
And one very important
That's-
point that I would one very important point to add to what he's saying. See, there is a blessing in disguise, I must tell him, that, now that, people with 95, 96, 97 are supposedly going to other colleges. Remember, a very constituent part of our learning process is peer learning. So the peer group in other colleges are bound to be going, bound to be going up and
Okay.
bound to be better.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I think the quality of teachers remain much the same
All right.
in most of the colleges.
Well, I'm afraid I'm completely out of time, but those are very crucial clarifications coming as usual on mission admission. Thank you both very much for being so patient and answering those questions. We will track this story and the admission process very closely.